Some farmers call it ditchweed or wild hemp. Others call it marijuana or pot. Whatever it's called, it's growing wild in Indiana in amazing quantities. Grown legally during World War II to make rope, the hemp plant still survives today on many Indiana farms, showing up between crops and in irrigation ditches. And according to State Police Public Information Officer Jerry Parker, this extra unwanted crop attracts harvesters from just about everywhere.
No, it does make its way to the street. We know that because we've arrested several hundred people throughout this part of the state for harvesting. The pickers, as we call them, come from just about every corner of the United States. We've arrested people from Alaska, California, Florida, New York, just about any place in the United States.
Parker says that in some parts of Indiana, the problem with illegal harvesters is extremely serious. He says that maps have been discovered that pinpoint choice spots to find wild marijuana, and that causes some big problems for farmers like Jerry Gums.
Of course, when we have these, in the 60s, we had these people coming around to picket. We want to discourage those people and not have trespassers. They've never bothered us, but then we don't like to have them, trespassing or opening gates and leaving cattle out and those kind of things.
Gums owns a large farm in Starke County. When much of the marijuana on his farm reached a height of 4 to 5 feet, he called the state police to ask for assistance in eradicating the hardy weed that grows wild among his soybean, potato, and peppermint plants. This marked the implementation of the new marijuana eradication program co-sponsored by the Indiana State Police and the Indiana Farm Bureau. The event attracted news media from as far away as Chicago and Indianapolis and telephone inquiries from at least one major network in New York. Representatives from both State Police and the Farm Bureau were on hand to answer questions concerning the eradication program.
This morning we're out here in southern Starke County, Indiana, on a marijuana eradication program through the cooperation of the Indiana Farm Bureau, the Indiana State Police, and naturally the farmers of Indiana. To my right is Jerry Gums. He is the owner of the farm where we're going to be spraying this morning. And to the right of him is John Cervenka, who is with Indiana Farm Bureau Incorporated. These gentlemen, through their cooperation with the Indiana State Police, were able to undertake this program.
Domestic marijuana production reaps an estimated $52 billion a year, making it the second largest cash crop in the United States, larger even than corn. The state police estimates that more than 250,000 marijuana plants are growing in Indiana, which equates to a $5 to $10 million operation. Last year, in just a 30-day period, troopers seized and eradicated more than 10,000 marijuana plants with an estimated street value of nearly $2.5 million. This year, through a grant from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the state police has joined with the Indiana Farm Bureau to combat the problem in full force. The concept is simple. When marijuana is located during normal farming activities, Farm Bureau members are encouraged to contact their nearest law enforcement agencies. Brochures have been distributed to help farmers identify the weed, as well as encourage them to call the police if they find it on their property. Once identified, the plants can be uprooted or sprayed with a chemical herbicide. At the Gums farm, the eradication went smoothly. A tractor moved along the ditch banks while farm hands sprayed the wild marijuana plants. Hovering above their heads were two of the state police helicopters. Inside the choppers, camera crews videotaped the eradication process. The federal government has enacted laws and entered into agreements that make it harder for illegal drugs to enter the country. However, Assistant Secretary of State Dominic DiCarlo emphasized that these successes can be severely damaged by perceptions overseas concerning domestic drug control. In a speech given to a seminar on narcotic control, DiCarlo stated, "When we ask other governments to reduce supply, they ask us what the United States is doing to reduce demand. When we remind them of their treaty obligations to control illicit narcotics within their borders, they ask us about the marijuana growing in the United States. When we tell them that the only effective way to control widespread cannabis growth is to destroy it by aerial herbicidal eradication, they ask us why we aren't doing it ourselves." Foreign officials have even asked whether we are trying to protect our marijuana growers from foreign competition. The State Department has called for individual states to implement programs that will help maintain the credibility of the United States in the area of drug control. The Indiana State Police and the Indiana Farm Bureau have answered the call and have set Indiana's marijuana eradication program off to a good start.